What's up, everybody? It's the King Twiz coming at ya, and welcome to another frickin' quiz, I guess. Today I was feeling a little quizzle. Not quizzle, because that's something totally different. I was feeling a little quizzy. Not queasy, but quizzy. Yes. Lately, I've just been doing a lot of the Wolfenstein 2 Let's Play, so I kind of wanted to switch it up when I noticed that trending, that pattern right there. So I just wanted to do something different, switch it up. And one thing that I came across, not popped in my head, because this obviously didn't pop in my head, not this, but one thing I came across was to figure out which house I would belong to, myself, and I'm not going to make any assumptions, because I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I hope I don't end up in Hufflepuff. I don't know why, that just seems like, that just does not seem like the way to go, that I would want to go at least. I have no idea. And I know that there is a website that I forgot the name of it, but I've seen videos for it, like Jacksepticeye's video for it, where you could figure out what house you belong to and what's your Expelliarm. I don't know. That one, you can figure out what is your little creature for that one spell. But I'm a rebel, so I'm just gonna go this way. So yeah, here we go. It's called the Ultimate Harry Potter Fan Quiz. So I guess I'm not an ultimate fan, but just like anybody else, I did watch and read the books, even the games. At first, when I was like in elementary school, I read all the books that were out at that point in time. And then when the movies started coming out, I was like, oh, hell yeah. I was a lot younger. So, of course, it was something I was into. I was like, hell yeah, let me watch those movies. And then when it started coming out with the video games, I was all over that shit. I really liked it. I kind of stopped after a while. There's even the last few movies I haven't seen, because obviously there's the amount of time that they've been coming out, and as I got older, my mind kind of just like went elsewhere, and I just didn't really give that much of a shit, I guess. And even the video games, I don't know where they left off or where they ended with the video games, but I played, I don't know, maybe the first 2 or 3, I think. And even with the books, I only read up to like what I said at that time, what they were. I think the last one I read was The Order of the Phoenix, when that one was a new one that came out. So that's as far as I got. But I used to be really into Harry Potter. Not to the point to where I was like, oh, I want to be that for Halloween or whatever, But yes, I was into the books and the games and the movies when it was that popular. So let's figure out which house I get in. Let's figure out which house I belong to. Let's get into it, shall we? 3 pages. Oh, all right. Well, that's the video. Can't do this for 3 pages, man. Just kidding. Number 1. Oh, no. Okay. I was starting to read that right there. Number 1 is disagree strongly. Okay. I see myself as dependable and self-disciplined. Well, yeah. I guess there's a little room for something. So what? 4 is, where's neutral at? I guess 3 and 4. I guess 4, yeah, would be like, I'm caught in the middle, bruh. So I would say, yes. I don't know why I wouldn't just say 7. I strongly agree with that. I do only the minimum amount of work needed to get by. Now that is a lie, but sometimes that could be true. So I guess slightly I would agree with that. But if it's something that I like, if I'm doing something that I really, really enjoy, I guess at first when I read that question, what popped in my mind was like schoolwork and stuff. And I could see that if it was something I'm not really interested in, but, I need to get it done and I want a good grade for it, then yeah, I would just do what I have to do to at least get an all right grade, I guess, or whatever. But if it's something that I truly like let's say videos or like a song or just something that I'm passionate about, I'm going to want to put in the maximum amount of effort, right? So I say I slightly agree with that. I have used flattery to get to my way. Honestly, I don't recall that. I don't recall any time of me just using flattery to get my way. That just seems like something you'd see in a movie. In my life, that's not something that really pops up. Oh, I skipped one. I'll get to you, flattery. I see myself as sympathetic and warm. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I would corely agree with that. Definitely. Flattery to get my way. I guess if the opportunity arose, I would. But just I can't recount anything like in my life to where I was using flattery to like those school that homework I was talking about. Use it on the teacher. Flattery, Mr. Johnson. Even if I feel terrified, I will stay in the situation until I have done what I needed to do. Until I do done what I need to do. That's an interesting thing right there. But once again, I can't really recount anything in my life where I was just absolutely terrified, but I needed to get something done. But I'd hope if I was in the position that I would do that. But, you know, there is, you know, the chance for fight or flight. So I would, I am an ordinary person who is no better than others. Well, fuck yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I am just an ordinary person. Nobody even knows who I am besides the people who know who I am, right? I will do things even though they seem to be dangerous. Like what? Like what? I would really like to know. Because I really don't like to do anything that's completely... I don't even want to ride like a motorcycle. Like a lot of guys that I know, or just, I don't know, men in general, once they're like, well, I guess growing up, you know, riding dirt bikes and stuff like that. I've never ridden a dirt bike. I've ridden a dirt bike maybe once or twice, but I'm more of like a quad guy, I guess. But like nowadays, people that I know that, you know, go out and buy like crotch rockets or just fucking fat boys or whatever, if that's what you call them. You know, that's a desire of theirs. Like, they want to go get a bike and ride it, and then they're doing freaking blah, blah, blah down the highway or whatever. No. That is not something that, like, interests me. I don't really care about riding a motorcycle. To me, that just is like a death trap. So, I would have to say I will do things even if they seem dangerous. I'm on the fence about that one, I guess. If there is, I'm going to land myself in a Hufflepuff house. If there is an important reason to face something that scares me, I will face it. Yeah, I'd agree with that. If there's an important reason, right? Not just do it for the hell of it, but if there is an important reason, right? I think that I am entitled to more respect than the average person is. Really? Is that like a Slytherin question? Even if something scares me, I will not back down. Guess that depends on what it is. Because yeah, there's things I can think of that I'd definitely be terrified and I would fucking back down quick. I probably would never even step up. Like, let's say Pacific Rim, like with those monsters or something like that, or like just some big creature, or like just something where it's totally just dumb. Like, what are you doing, man? You know what I mean? Like if somebody got a gun to my head or something like that, I'm not just gonna stand up and just be like, I ain't scared, man. I mean, I got a gun to my freaking head. I'm not just gonna act like that. So, yeah, if something scares me, I will not back down. I guess it all depends. So I'll slightly agree with that one. When working, I often set ambitious goals for myself. I slightly agree with that. I don't really go overboard with just, like, I guess my goals. There's not really anything, at least not yet in life, some ambitious goal. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty, like, a skinny, I'm not, like, fit and in shape, but I am a pretty skinny guy. You know, I'm 26 years old, so, I mean, I guess that could change. But it's not like I'm, like, 300 pounds and I have an ambitious goal to freaking get down to 150. You know what I mean? Like, that would take, you know, a lot of dedication and the hard work to do it. So, as of right now, I tend to face my fears. Yeah, definitely. I definitely would tend to face my fears. I wish I had toilet paper. Oh, there's my toilet paper. I tend to face my fears, yes. I would say so. One of my biggest fears would be heights. Definitely. And I've done things where I've faced those fears, where I actually got up really high. I used to work a warehouse job where it's kind of like driving one of those stand-up high-lows, but they called it a third wheel. But it's like the forks are not in front of you, the forks of the high-low are behind you, and you have to wear a safety harness that is attached to the third wheel. And it's funny now I'm thinking about it, a third wheel. God, I'm gonna need to get some toilet paper. All right. Stop. messing with my nose. So yes, the little safety harness would be strapped to the third wheel, locked into place, and basically those are for when you have to just, you know, go up and get things off, pick an order that's off the shelf, like at the tippy top. And there it would be like, I would want to say 20, maybe 25 feet up in the air. And I mean, that's not a lot, but being up there, when you're on that third wheel and you're like up there, it'll like sway. And I mean, they're extremely heavy. I mean, just your average stand-up high-low is extremely heavy. So when you got something like that, you know, it's extremely heavy. So having that fear, being up there, and it's like swaying, even though you're like strapped into it, but I would always fear like it's just gonna like and tip over on you. You know what I mean? And then on top of it, let's say like I had to pick an order, and this has happened to me, where all I had to get was like a package that's at the very top shelf. So I'm maxed out all the way that I can go, all the way to the top. And the freaking thing weighs like 150 pounds or whatever, maybe a little bit less than that. Maybe 150 came to my head because I said 150 just a little bit ago. But it'd be well over 100 pounds. And just like having to, like with the fear, if I wasn't afraid, then it wouldn't be a thing. You know what I mean? Just grab the freaking thing and put it on your pallet and then get the hell out of there. But I'm terrified. So going up there, and this was kind of, I think, like in the beginning of me doing that type of picking, because obviously there's ground level order picking, and like that's where you start off, and then I guess if you have the balls enough, you can do the orders where you have to extend vertically and get them. So I don't know why I just did that. Not thinking right. But yeah, so in that case, oh my God, I had to face my fear. But it terrified me, but I still did it because I had to do it. Otherwise, you know, I wouldn't get paid. So I tend to face my fears. I would say yes. Almost a full, strong agree. Because I'm pretty sure there'd be situations where I just would not, like, dude, that is suicide. No. I tend to manipulate others to get my way. I'm going to be neutral about that. Because, you know, they're so generic of a question. You think automatically something bad about it. Like, I manipulate others to get my way. But there's smaller, like less evil scenarios, I guess, if you want to say. Like my little daughter, she's only 3 years old. You know, there's a lot of manipulation there with like your kids when you want them to do something that they do not want to do, right? I hope you know what I'm talking about. So, I mean, you got to kind of manipulate them a little bit or bribe them or whatever. So, I guess it depends on what you're saying. Because I don't just manipulate people on a regular. What the hell? I tend to exploit others towards my own end. What the frick? No. I strongly disagree with that. I do not exploit others towards my own end. What kind of question is that? Last page. If I am worried or anxious about something, I will do or face it anyway. Weird ass questions. They're so generic on the situation. I mean, obviously they don't give you a specific situation. I would agree with that, sorta. But once again, if something's crazy and it's just like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, if I'm worried, like, let's bring a gun back into the mix. Like, if I'm in the middle, if I went to the bank to get some cash out of my account, and all of a sudden a robbery was in progress, you know, if I'm worried that I'm gonna get shot and killed or whatever, you know, I'm not going to get up and just face it. You know, I'm just going to sit there and be a good little boy, you know? So in that sense, I will not. But I would have to, I slightly agree with that because, you know, it goes hand in hand with facing the fear type of thing. I wouldn't want people to treat me as though I were superior to them. Well, no, I wouldn't want them to treat me like that because just like anybody else, I'm a freaking regular human being. I wish, like... If there was other people taking this quiz right now, just imagine somebody like Trump taking this quiz. That's a fucking laugh. But like him, I bet he would be like, I wouldn't want people to treat me as all superior to them. He'd disagree with that because I bet he would. He's like, I'm a fucking Trump with his little hands. I'm a Trump. I'm superior to you. I'm a Trump. I have the Trump bloodline in me, a superior line in me. But then again, it seems like it'd be like that with people who are like down to earth people who don't feel like that, but let's say they're super famous and have just a major following behind them. Some fans would treat them probably like that, like they're fucking superior, even if they don't think that. But I would agree with that. I don't want people to treat me like I'm superior to them. I mean, I just would like people just to, I guess, recognize any good that I've done for them or for anybody else. So in that sense, yes, but other than that, no. I see myself as disorganized and careless. Oh, why'd you have to throw careless into there? Disorganized, yes. I'm kind of on the fence about that because I really get like super anal. Why does anal have to be that word for that? But super anal. Super organized. Let me just say that. Being organized, yeah, sometimes I just like go on a crazy, super organized spree about things. But then again, before I do like hit that point, that breaking point of just wanting to organize, I kind of do let things get messy and organized, you know? Like cleaning around the house. For the majority of the time, I'll do just like your basic cleaning, making like this neat and, you know, dishes done and blah, 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 laundry done and blah, blah, blah. But then when it comes to like in the bathroom, and you know what I mean? Like sometimes things get crazy. I mean, I live in a house full of girls, except our boy dog. So things kind of get crazy in the bathroom. So I'll kind of like, I'll clean up in there, but the organization of that, no. Or like if mail, when you get your mail and just collecting things, like sometimes that shit just stacks up. And then finally it's like, we don't even need half of these things. Like those little booklets of coupons you get, or like just the newspapers, or it just shit just starts to stack up. And then it's, after a while, you know, you got to go through that shit and just get rid of it. I don't need this. I'm never going to use this, right? No, not 6. I'll slightly agree with that. I often push myself very hard when trying to achieve a goal. Once again, that kind of reminds me of the one before where I was talking about homework, I think it was, where I guess putting in that effort for it. So it all depends on like what it is and I'm dealing with. If it's something that I'm not just like, yeah, I just really want to get this done. There's really no benefit for me. So it all depends. I'll slightly, oh God, I'm just like well, except for that one. Slightly agreeing with everything. I see myself as critical and quarrelsome. I'll slightly agree with that. I'll slightly agree with everything. I have used deceit or lied to get my way. Oh God, that's like a Slytherin question right there. You just know it. Once again, a very generic thing. I mean, there's been times, I'm guarantee it, throughout my 26 years of life, that's such a long time. Well, that kind of is. That's a long time. I mean, 26 freaking years. But I guarantee there's been times where I fucking lied to somebody just to get my way, or just deceived somebody to get my way. I'm not gonna guarantee there's probably been times. But once again, it depends on the grade of it. Like, how bad was it? You know, it could have been when I was just a child and I lied to like a kid saying, hey, so-and-so wants to talk to you, because I wanted to get on the frickin' tire swing. So I had to free up a space. That's not a real story that happened. I'm just saying. I would slightly agree with that. I shouldn't even read these anymore. I'm just going to slightly agree with anything. But this is the last one anyway. I often check my work over repeatedly to find any mistakes. I will not strongly agree, but yes, I will almost strongly agree. Because with things that I'm passionate about and I'm doing, let's say editing a video, I notice that like while I'm editing the video, obviously I want to be very like meticulous about the details and stuff, like especially when it comes to like lip synchronization. You know, you want it to be on the lips. And I notice, like this is kind of going off a little bit, off of what I'm saying, but like if you just use the audio from the freaking camera, it's going to have that slight delay like on it. But I use audio, you can't see it, but obviously my microphone. I use the audio from that and then the camera. So when I'm putting all these elements into freaking Premiere Pro, it's important that, you know, the synchronization is on. You know what I mean? But while I'm editing, at first like it starts off and it's good, but I haven't figured this out. But like gradually as it goes on, especially if it's like a long video, like let's say my Let's Plays for like AAA games like Wolfenstein or Prey or Until Dawn. Those games, since they're gonna be like max an hour long, they're definitely gonna start drifting, like that vocal drift. They're gonna do that. So I have to kind of go through it, make sure that the lips are always gonna be synchronized. If it's a shorter video, then I don't really have to worry about that. It's fine. But I notice that when I'm editing videos like that for the longer videos, towards the end of it, it seems like I'm just like kind of losing that eye for it, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. And it's not until after, like it seems like it's good to me then. Maybe it's because like I have the face cam already so small up in the corner. And like that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the lip synchronization. Like that's what I'm looking at. And it's so small that like after a while you kind of just get I don't know the word for it right now, but just like it just I don't know. It just slips past me. And I think that I have it on, but it'll slightly be off. Probably not enough to where people are just like, dude, your lips are not on. Like that Markiplier video. There was a portion, probably it was like a couple weeks ago now, but all of a sudden, boom, like Catherine, I don't know what happened right there. Probably what I'm talking about. Something happened right there where it was just like, it seemed like it was on from a distance, but it just wasn't on for a portion of the time. But I don't know, just like sometimes it'll get after, God, I can't talk. After I upload it and then I'll watch the video, I'll notice it. And of course it's already freaking gone, or not gone, but it's already uploaded and I don't feel like taking it down, redoing this damn thing and then blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so, all right, well, I'm done anyway. So yeah, I would slightly agree with that, but sometimes things happen, whatever. So here's the results. I guarantee it's Hufflepuff. What the fuck? Only Slytherin, this is totally nothing. Hey, Gryffindor was a runner-up. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. But I guess I'm a freaking Hufflepuff. How do I call these things, man? Just like with the freaking, like, which Leonardo... God, I just totally slurred that out. Which Leonardo DiCaprio character am I? And I called it. Like, I was hoping that I would land on the Jordan Belfort guy. Just because his name was Jordan. Not spelt the same way. Mine is J-O-U-R-D-A-N. His is just a regular J-O-R-D-A-N. But I called it, right? And then with this one, I called it. But I didn't want it. But I still called it. So what the fuck? I am a Hufflepuff. And that sounds like such a freaking... like... kind of name, right? Hufflepuff. Actually, it's kind of like you huff and you puff, so it almost seems like you just be like a mean person in a way. But with those two words together, Hufflepuff, it sounds like so gentle, I guess. Well, there you go. I'm a Hufflepuff. That's the house I belong to. Cool. Is that really their animal or whatever? Like their mascot is a freaking skunk? Is that a skunk? Looks like a skunk to me. Ugh, man, I really need a haircut. I know I talked about that before, but... Come on, wife. Sam? Hufflepuff and Gryffindor, obviously, that's what theirs is. Ravenclaw. It looks like a lion. How come they have a lion in the Gryffindor thing? I thought a griffin was their thing. Well, there you go. Hufflepuff, but Gryffindor was the runner-up. So, it's all right. It's all right. That's the house that I belong to. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was pretty fun learning about that. You know, it's cool when something like that happens where it's like you get what you don't want to get, or you get what you called, what you called out. So, there you go. Hufflepuff. So, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And thank you so much for watching this video. And I'll see you. Peace.